Okay, so pituitary gland, uh, I'll be doing that afterwards. Let me complete this communications of cavernous sinus. Okay, so there is transverse sinus via, okay, so communications, okay, transverse sinus via superior petrosal sinus. As you can see here, this is the transverse sinus, okay, and this is related to the superior petrosal sinus. Then there is sigmoid sinus, that is sigmoid sinus forms the internal jugular vein, and it is related to inferior petrosal sinus. So transverse sinus through superior petrosal sinus, sigmoid sinus through inferior petrosal sinus. Then there is pterygoid venous plexus, okay, and then sigmoid sinus through inferior petrosal sinus. Then comes pterygoid venous plexus via emissary vein. So as you can see, we have written EE here. So through to pterygoid venous plexus through emissary veins, that is pterygoid venous plexus, okay, and we have even learned it in dangerous area of face. Then comes facial vein, okay. So facial vein, the communications are through two routes. One is through superior ophthalmic vein. Through the ophthalmic vein, this ophthalmic vein, anastomosis with the angular artery, dorsal, nasal nerve, artery, some artery we have learned, right? That superior ophthalmic vein, anastomosis with the angular vein, and through that facial vein. The other one is through these emissary veins, pterygoid venous plexus, deep facial vein, and the facial vein. Okay, so there are two routes through which the cavernous sinus is communicating with the facial vein. And opposite cavernous sinus. So these opposite cavernous sinus, as we have learned in classification of dural venous sinus, anterior and posterior intercavernous sinus, okay. And then there is superior sagittal sinus, superficial middle cerebral vein, and superior anastomotic vein, okay. The superior sagittal sinus, as you can see, there is superior sagittal sinus. Yeah, here is the superior sagittal sinus. Even though you cannot see the superficial middle cerebral vein and the superior anastomotic vein, see, you cannot see the superficial middle cerebral vein, you cannot see the superficial middle cerebral vein and the superior anastomotic vein. If you want to see it, then you need to open Vishram Singh neuroanatomy textbook, the chapter where meninges and CSF is being taught. There the venous supply is given in detail about great cerebral vein of Galen and what is connecting to what. So you need to remember that this is communicating with that by superior anastomotic vein or superficial middle cerebral vein. Then comes the intervertebral venous plexus, that is communicating with the cavernous sinus through basilar venous plexus. So this is foramen magnum, where the intervertebral venous plexus is there, that is communicating with the basilar venous plexus. Now comes the cavernous sinus thrombosis. So there is septic thrombosis, septic emboli, that is coming from the dangerous area of the face, which we have also learnt in dangerous area of the face, okay. So that comes from the there is septic emboli, it might come from there because there is no valves present near the in the facial veins. So and they are directly there, so the infections can spread and cause meningitis and cavernous sinus thrombosis, okay, which we had learnt in dangerous area of face, okay. So ophthalmoplegia and edema of the eyelids, okay. Two features of this is ophthalmoplegia, that is there is paralysis of ocular muscles. The ocular muscles get paralyzed, and edema of the eyelids, that is exophthalmos is present. And then and arteriovenous communication, that is the internal artery, it gets ruptured and it fills and the blood rushes to the cavernous sinus. You can, the characteristic features are, one of the characteristic feature is loud bruit can be felt, ophthalmoplegia and conjunctival edema, exophthalmosis. Thank you.